Hello, this is Joel A. Erickson and Nate Atkins from the Indy Star. We're here at Colts joint practices with the Chicago Bears. By far the longest session they've had. Went 2 hours and 10 minutes-ish. Both quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson and Gardner Minshew, threw 20 attempts. I watched the offense. Nate watched the defense. What did you see from the Colts defense today?
Just that they got to be challenged by a different dual-threat quarterback. You know, they've been going up against Anthony Richardson for a while, but Justin Fields is similar as a just amazing athlete moving, back and forth in the pocket, but he's another guy that's got just a gorgeous deep ball, and so he got him on a few of those, down the field. But there were moments where, Rodney Thomas had an interception when they could get him to hold the ball a little bit, when their pass rush would do a little bit. You saw those DBs kind of gain life once they were able to make some plays back there. And that's obviously the position that we focus on a lot because the Colts are so young back there. So there were moments that they got challenged by, DJ Moore and guys like that, but they also made enough plays, I think, to gain a little bit of confidence.
Anthony Richardson threw one interception on 7-on-7, but it kind of set the tone for the rest of the practice in that this is Matt Eberflus's defense. Colts fans are familiar with this. They're gonna play back in a shell and make you throw underneath. Richardson kind of tried to do something. He kind of tried to push the ball when he shouldn't. Outside of that, he settled down and just kind of took what the defense gave him. He was 16 of 20 today, very efficient. Not a lot of shots down the field, but a lot of completions, a lot of moving the chains, that kind of thing. I will say this: the offensive line had a rough day just from terms of 4 holding penalties, 2 false starts, couple of sacks given up. Not much room in the running game for anybody other than Richardson. He kind of makes his own. Not the best day for the offensive line of the Indianapolis Colts today.
Yeah, it's a little concerning because that's not the strength of the Bears' defense, is the defensive lines. But this, it was always going to be a test once they went up against somebody else to see where that group is, and I guess they got it a little bit.
Well, injuries a little bit too. Ryan Kelly is out with what was called a foot injury. Will Fries had a wrap on what looked like his calf and knee, so they had some backups in there. Braden Smith was back. In one-on-one pass and in pass blocking, I thought they held up well, just a lot of penalties.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the Bears' offensive line was. It's sort of a reworked unit, but that was good for the Colts' pass rush to get a little bit going out there. You saw Dio Dengbo and Kwity Paye both kind of getting in the backfield a little bit, Samson Ebukam. So that's really the group that the Colts they're putting a lot on because of that young secondary, and I haven't seen them flash a ton so far this camp, but today was a nice step in the right direction.
Don't forget, these joint practices, I think the Colts coaches probably pay more attention to, all NFL coaches pay more attention to than just about any practice, even more so than the preseason game. We'll be back here again on Thursday night, and then obviously there's a preseason game on Saturday. We're going to keep writing about it at indystar.com.
All right, I'll start off. I know you guys saw the statement that we put out on Jonathan. I have nothing to add on that front, but I will say that tonight was a phenomenal night. The crowd was great. The energy was great. We got really good work on both sides of the ball and special teams. With that, I'll take questions about practice tonight.
What have you guys seen out of Arlington Hambright? Feels like
he's got some good physicality. He's a smart player. He's got good movement skills. Like where he's at, and continue to give him reps.
Versatile guy?
What's that? Versatile? Yeah, very versatile. He can play inside and outside for sure.
And you obviously watched a lot of your offense. What were your takeaways from them?
It was good. There's some good, and there's things that we got to get cleaned up. But I got to go back and watch the tape. But I did like the energy they played with, and again, I got to go back and really study the tape.
Penalties?
Yeah, the penalties. Obviously, we had the penalty right there to start the 2-minute drive. We hit a big one down the seam, and then we had a legal formation that hurt us right there. So we backed it up. We played that 2-minute drive like it would be in the game.
What impressed you the most about Anthony today?
He made some good throws. Obviously he had some really good runs in the zone read game, and then he made some good throws along the way. And then there's things that we got to clean up. But excited about how he played.
Were there some learning experiences where there looked like some times where it's like you saw a look you wasn't?
Yeah, it's exactly. That's what these practices are for, right? You get to go against another opponent, see different looks, and it was good work for him tonight.
What's Ryan Kelly dealing with?
He has a foot. He's got a foot.
Drew Ogletree?
He has a shoulder.
Do you feel like Anthony did a good job of taking what defense gave him? Against defense like that, they try to...
Yeah, he did. I mean, we had called a few shots, and then he checked one down to the back off play action, which, it went down the sidelines for about 10 or 12, which was really good. And that's great growth, right? Like, don't force it, right? Take the completions and move on from there. And, like I said, we'll watch the tape and get the corrections made.
Shane, you've had young quarterbacks who are proficient both as passers and runners. Is there a difficult balance in trying to utilize both of those skill sets?
Yeah, I've been asked that, quite a bit, obviously, in Philly with Jalen and stuff. Like, how do you balance that? I think you just go through it and you see what's going to work that week, right? And you got to be smart with it and do what they do best, and give yourself the best chance to win. And whether that's him running it or throwing it, that's a week-to-week decision.
I'm sorry, what do you make of Fields?
What's that?
Justin Fields out there. Are there any similarities you saw in the brief time here with
Yeah, no, shoot, I remember him from last year. He had a heck of a run against us in Philly, got called back, but he's an explosive player. I know he's got a bright future in this league. You know, I just got to see him when we came together there at the end just for a brief moment, so I'll get to, go back tonight and watch some more of the defensive stuff because I was down here on the offense.
He has interception in 7-on-7.
Yeah.
Kind of air mails. Like, that's just one where you're like, that's what we kind of have to clean up.
Yeah, that's the learning, right? That's the learning. Take what the defense gives you. We got to be on the same page there. It starts with myself, starts with coaching, and we got to get that cleaned up.
Was it miscommunication or?
No, I mean, like I said, we got to be better there.
Shane,
Yep.
with Josh Downs, what do you see from him?
Shoot, he's done tremendous. He runs great routes. He catches everything. Really like his growth and where he's at right now.
That slot spot he was talking about, it's a lot of it's just feel. Is there part of that position that you can't teach?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, some of those routes that you run inside the slot, those guys have a natural feel from the best ones in the league that are in the slot that kind of run those routes inside, have a great feel for them. And sometimes it's like, I don't want to get into the scheme stuff, but like those type of routes, you don't really want to coach them. Like, let their talent shine and let them take over and do what they do.
With two guys at that spot who perform well in that slot spot.
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, it was great battle. Isaiah and Downs. Shoot, I mean, Isaiah made a huge play, made two guys miss, and had an explosive there. So, I mean, I know those guys are competing like crazy. It'll be fun to see how it all plays out.
So there could be a role for two guys in
Yeah,
one spot.
yeah. We'll see how it plays out.
Shane, any decision on Anthony playing Saturday?
I haven't made a decision on anyone yet.
Did you talk to Gus about how your defense looked tonight? Obviously, you were watching.
No, I haven't had a chance to. We just brought him up, and then I just came over here. So.
Isn't it fair that every day Anthony's going to see something different? It's going to be a learning experience every game.
Yeah, I think with anything, I think, from a rookie year to your year 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're still seeing stuff. And then once you get past, year 12, 13, and you're down the road, like those guys that have been doing it for a while, they've probably seen it all. So, yeah, always learning, always growing, always improving.
What kind of unique challenges do you feel like the Bears secondary brought to him today?
Shoot, they did some different looks, some different coverages than what we've seen. So it was really good to see. And then they got some good line movement up front that they were doing. So it'll be good to go back and watch the tape and get the corrections made.
Why is joint practice like this so important for this team's growth?
Well, I think it's great, and just the energy and the competitive nature it brings out. You go against each other in camp, for so many weeks, and now you get a chance to go get another opponent. And again, it just brings up the level of energy and excitement for everybody, and the players are fired up about it. And as a coach, I love it.
Great, thanks. Got Josh Downs right here for you.
Thanks.
All right.
That was win already.
Kenny, how are you feeling after your first joint practice?
Feeling really good. Trying to get everything gelled in with the guys, camaraderie, obviously being able to compete finally against a new team, not being able to go out there against Buffalo. So, yeah, great day.
What's Matt Eberflus mean to you?
Oh, man. I just think about foundation. And that's where everything started. To gel with not only him, but everybody that we had over that journey. And, just to see him in the flesh again, it meant a lot to go out and compete and show him this is where it started.
When a guy like that gets a head coaching job, what went through your head when you heard that he was going somewhere else?
I think it was only a matter of time at that point. We all knew how much he meant to this defense, but to be over a team, we knew he could get the job done. And I would just tell him he looked good, and I'm proud of him. He and A-Dub and everyone else that I know over there that traveled from here. So, yeah.
You had some good battles with DJ Moore, just all one-on-one and whatnot. So what kind of challenge did he bring to you?
Best on best. We're just trying to get better. That's just what practice is for. Everything is off the record, but, we're trying to compete at the highest level we can and, just be a professional and get the job done. So just like whenever he was in Carolina, we did the same thing whenever he came over here and joint practiced us a couple years ago. So I know him personally, and, I always respect him and love him, and it's good work.
What did this defense show today?
What did we show today? Energy. Obviously, with the preseason practices, going to joint practices, you're trying to establish an identity. And I think, for the most part, we're just trying to be consistent as possible, trying to limit the mistakes and everything. So we got a lot of work to do. We're gonna get back in the meeting room and chalk up a bunch of things and get better, and hopefully come out tomorrow and be better.
Go ahead, guys. Josh, you and Anthony are roommates still, I assume. What's it been like this week with you both with the first game?
Man, I mean, it feels good being out there with AR. I mean, we still learning each other on the field, just because, I mean, we've only just like 12 practices, but just having him as a roommate and out there as my quarterback, I can't ask for anything better. It's a blessing for us. So he trusts me now, and I always tell him he can trust me. Even after he calls a play, I just slip a little, hey, bro, look for me. So, you know. But, I like AR, man. He's a good dude. He proven a lot of people wrong. So
that's why you caught about a dozen balls today, it seemed like? I mean,
oh, yeah. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, he looked at me, and, I mean, I try to catch the ball as much as I can just to make him trust me.
Are you pretty excited to hear that, just for him to get that opportunity to be the starter of this team?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a confidence booster for him, knowing that the coaches believe in him, the organization believes in him real early. So, yeah, going out there, I mean, he's taking advantage of it. He don't look timid. He look like he's been there and done that. So I love him out there. I mean, I've had great quarterbacks in college, and, I mean, he's right in that pedigree. So I love to see it.
The deep ball in 7-on-7, did he just sort of put it up for you to see if he can catch, I mean, the interception?
No, just miscommunication. We're going to fix it, but it was just a miscommunication.
You said he was proving people wrong. Who are those people?
No, I mean, just some comments you see on social media and stuff like that. But everybody gets that. But, I mean, he's going out there and he's balling. So that's all I can say.
What are the comments?
I mean, man, I'm not going to answer that question. You know what I'm talking about. So, but he doing good.
Josh, when you get open, is it how much of it is technique, how much of it is feel, just for finding a way to be, obviously, because Gardner said, like, that's your greatest skill is you get open.
Mm-hmm. Nah, a little bit of both, and also just God-given talent, really. So you got to have technique, you got to have skill, you got to have God-blessing talent as well, but you also got to have feel as a receiver, especially in the slot. You're maneuvering through the nickel, the safety, the linebackers, and they're a lot stronger. So just being able to maneuver around, find the open hole, and then recognize when it's man to get off press coverage, recognize just different things like that. So I feel like getting open to me, I don't like being covered. I feel like when I get covered, I feel like I'm not as good of a player. So I feel like I got to get open every single time.
How much of that connection between you and Anthony, you need to be seeing the defense through the same set of eyes of like, hey, I see this, I know you see this, so I'm going to attack the coverage.
No, I mean, you got to be on the same page as your quarterback on every single level. So, I mean, we're building that right now. He's building that with Pitt and Alec and other receivers like Isaiah too. So, he's doing a great job. I love Anthony. He's playing extremely well right now.
Talking about this practice specifically, this was your first experience with joint practices. How do you feel like you did overall in the offense collectively?
Oh, I mean, I took it like a game today. I mean, I was really excited. When I woke up this morning, I felt like we was going out there to play a game. So I've always seen joint practices like in high school and college, and I kind of wanted to just get a taste of what it feels like. And today I did. So just competing out there with different guys, being able to just see different talent other than the Bills and our guys. So basically, I'm still seeing how I stack up in the league, and I mean, I'm just competing.
So based off today, how do you feel like you stack up?
I mean, I feel like I can get better, of course. I feel like I'm doing some things well, but I'm still young, so I got a long way to go.
Josh, one of your last firsts is going to be Saturday, your first home game. Just how excited are you to be at Lucas Oil and a home crowd for the first time?
I'm very excited. My parents coming up to the game, so my people coming to Indy. I'm excited for that, and I'm also excited to play in the stadium. Last time I was in there was the Combine, so I'm excited to see how it feels putting on the blue and playing in front of all the fans.
A couple more periods. It seemed like some of those periods were pretty lively, a lot of chatter going back and forth. How did you feel like the Bears secondary was playing against you?
I mean, they got a lot of great players, so we competing out there. They made some plays, we made some plays, and at the end of the day, it's the highest level of football. Everybody's competitive out there, and everybody wants to be great. So if it gets chippy, it gets chippy. That's just how the game of football is. Everybody aggressive, everybody strong out there. Everybody want to be the best. So
what did this offense learn today for first day of joint practice?
I mean, I feel like we got a lot of guys that can make plays. That's what we learned. I mean, we've known that through camp, but just doing it against somebody else, it kind of just helps you get even more of a reminder of that. So we got a lot of guys across the board that can make plays. I mean, and I feel like we can be explosive.
Thanks, Josh.
For sure.